Long, long ago, in the shining kingdom of Leora, a place of sun-drenched towers and emerald fields, lived a princess named Ara. She was a gentle soul, kind and thoughtful, and she found her greatest joy in helping others. But for all her kindness, Princess Ara was terribly, painfully shy. Whenever the royal court gathered, with its vibrant music and lively chatter, Ara would feel her heart shrink. She'd quietly slip away, finding refuge in the castle gardens. There, among the fragrant flowers and dancing butterflies, she felt safe. She felt like herself. One morning, as the sunlight cast a golden glow on the dew-kissed petals, Ara noticed something gleaming beneath a rose bush. It was a silver crown, delicate and intricate, shining as brightly as moonlight. As she reached out and picked it up, a soft ethereal voice whispered on the breeze. "This is the crown of confidence," it said. "It doesn't give you courage. It only reminds you that you already have it, deep inside." Before Ara could even gasp, the crown gently floated from her grasp and vanished in a shower of sparkles, leaving behind a strange, comforting warmth in her heart. That very afternoon, a royal messenger, his face pale with panic, came running into the courtyard. He was breathless, his words tumbling out in a rush. "Your Majesty," he cried, the great river that feeds our lands is blocked. A dragon is sleeping right in its path, and the villagers downstream have no water." A collective gasp rippled through the court. The kingdom's bravest knights exchanged uneasy glances, their usual bravado suddenly gone. Then, to everyone's astonishment, a quiet figure stepped forward. It was Princess Ara. "I will go," she said, her voice soft but clear. Her father, the king, stared at her, his eyes wide with concern. "My dear," he began, "you are gentle and shy. A dragon is no small matter." Ara offered a small, determined smile. "I am, father. But perhaps courage isn't always loud and boastful. Maybe sometimes courage is quiet, like the river that keeps flowing, no matter the obstacle." Before anyone could say another word, she was gone, riding her horse towards the distant, misty mountains, a new sense of purpose guiding her way. The journey was long and arduous. The wind howled through the mountain passes like a mournful wolf, and the forest grew thick and dark, its gnarled branches reaching for her like skeletal fingers. Yet, Ara pressed on. When she finally reached the river valley, she saw him. The dragon was enormous, his scales a shimmering silver, like 1,000 polished shields. He was fast asleep, and his snores were so powerful, they made the very rocks around him tremble. Taking a deep breath, clutching the memory of the crown's warmth, she called out, her voice steadier than she expected. "Great dragon, please wake up!" The dragon stirred, and one immense golden eye blinked open, regarding her with ancient curiosity. He let out a tremendous yawn, a gust of warm air washing over her. "Oh my," he rumbled, his voice like grinding stones. "I didn't mean to cause any trouble. I was so tired. I only came here to rest. I must have blocked the river completely." Seeing not malice, but exhaustion in his eyes, Ara smiled kindly. "It's all right," she said. "Why don't we move the rocks together?" The dragon, taken aback by her offer, agreed. Side by side, the shy princess and the mighty dragon worked, heaving boulders until the water was free to flow again, sparkling and gurgling happily under the sun. When their work was done, the dragon bowed his great head in a gesture of respect. "You are not like the other humans who come with swords and shouting," he mused. "You speak with kindness." Ara looked up at the magnificent creature and replied, "That's because courage and kindness are often the same thing. They both come from the heart." Days later, as Ara made her way back to the kingdom, a hero in her own right, another messenger arrived. This one came from a land far across the sea, from the magnificent city of Baghdad. He spoke of a brave and legendary sailor named Sinbad, who had heard the tale of Leora's dragon and the princess, who had faced it not with a sword, but with a gentle word. He was so intrigued. He had journeyed to meet her himself. When Sinbad arrived, his eyes held the wisdom of distant horizons. He told Ara his own incredible stories, of islands that were actually the backs of giant sea creatures, of valleys glittering with diamonds, guarded by fearsome snakes, and of storms that churned the ocean and tested the limits of his courage. He smiled, a glint in his eye. The sea is full of wonders, princess, but the greatest treasure I ever found wasn't gold or jewels. It was the courage to face the unknown, to sail into the storm and trust I would find my way through. Ara listened, captivated. Maybe our journeys are not so different, Sinbad, she reflected. We both found our courage, not by defeating a monster, but when we simply stopped running from our fear. That night, they sat together beneath the canopy of stars, watching the silver river flow. Two kindred souls bound by the quiet strength of true bravery. The next morning, Sinbad, ever the storyteller, told Ara of a mystery in a nearby kingdom. 12 princesses, he said, who somehow wore out their dancing shoes completely every single night. And no one could figure out how. Intrigued, Ara decided she had to see this for herself. She travelled to the neighbouring castle and was welcomed warmly by the 12 sisters. That night, as the castle slept, Ara noticed a faint, magical glow seeping from beneath their bedroom door. Quietly, she followed the light. Behind a hidden golden door, she discovered a tunnel, shimmering with an otherworldly glow. It led her down, 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 to a breathtaking crystal ballroom, hidden deep beneath the earth. There, the 12 sisters danced gracefully with handsome princes made of pure starlight. It was a scene of such pure, uninhibited joy. Ara didn't interrupt or reveal herself. She just smiled and whispered to the air. Magic like this shouldn't be hidden away. It should be shared with the world. The next morning, she gently told the king what she had seen. But instead of punishing his daughters, the king laughed, his voice booming with delight. "Let the world see this joy," he declared. And from that day forward, on every full moon, the magical ballroom was opened for the entire kingdom to join in a dance of light, laughter, and glorious freedom. Years passed, and Ara's adventures continued. One winter, as snow painted the land in a blanket of pristine white, she found herself following a trail of uniquely glowing snowflakes that floated through the crisp air. They led her north, to a colossal glacier that seemed to touch the clouds. As she reached out and touched the icy wall, it shimmered and dissolved like a mirage, revealing a palace of ice, and, within it, Queen Elsa of Arendelle and her sister, Anna. Elsa smiled warmly. "You must be Ara. The winds have been whispering your name." In the center of the hall, a crystal floated, glowing with a soft, inner light. A voice whispered from it, "Only true love can awaken what sleeps within." Elsa and Anna looked at each other, their bond unbreakable, and joined hands. A wave of warmth, the tangible power of their sisterly love, spread through the icy air. In response, the entire glacier bloomed into a spectacular frozen garden. Crystal flowers unfurled their petals, snow began to glow with soft light, and butterflies made of silver ice took flight. Ara watched, awestruck. "Your love brought life to solid ice," she whispered. "That is the truest courage, the courage to feel, to love, without holding back." Elsa smiled. "And your journey reminds us all that real magic isn't about power, it's about heart." Just then, Olaf the snowman twirled happily between them. "And don't forget," he chirped, Every great adventure needs snacks. Everyone laughed as the snowflakes outside sparkled like a million tiny stars. When Princess Ara finally returned home to Leora, her father, the king, greeted her at the gates. His eyes filled with tears of pride. "You left this kingdom a shy and uncertain girl," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "and you have returned with the heart of a queen." That night, Ara looked up at the sky, where the constellations shimmered like silver crowns scattered across velvet. She finally understood. The fairy's words had been true all along. Courage was never something given to her. It wasn't in a magical crown. It had been there, inside her, all along, waiting patiently in her heart. From a dragon's quiet cave to a secret, dancing ballroom. From Sinbad's endless sea to Elsa's magnificent ice mountain, Princess Ara's journey taught one timeless and beautiful truth. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's a quiet whisper that says, "Try again." It doesn't wait for magic to appear. It understands that it is the magic. And it shows us that wherever the light of kindness shines, even the coldest ice and the darkest fears can be transformed into something beautiful. Thank you so much for watching our story today. If you enjoyed Ara's journey, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tales of magic and courage. We'll see you next time.